for the Rebel.media. I'm here at the Edmonton legislature at the annual March for Life. Behind me are thousands of people who believe that life begins at conception. Pro-choice groups, religious groups, faith groups, the Knights of Columbus, the Catholic Women's League, Catholic schools, and other faith-based organizations, as well as secular groups, are behind me to show their support for the sanctity of all human life. Full disclosure, I'm a pro-lifer. I would be here anyway, but I am here for work today. But I'm also here because I support free speech and conscience rights. And in Canada, over the past 4 years, the free speech and conscience rights of pro-lifers have been stomped on at both the provincial and the federal level. Justin Trudeau's attestation to the values of the Liberal Party of Canada before pro-lifers could qualify for summer jobs grants sacrificed their conscience rights on the altar of political correctness. And here in Alberta, Rachel Notley's bubble zone legislation that forced pro-life protesters away from abortion clinics violated their free speech rights. So I'm here today to ask these people why they continue to fight for the rights of the unborn and what they think about the change in government and how that will reflect upon their free speech rights. Let's go check it out. So, why are you down at the March for Life today?
So I'm down at the March for Life today because I believe that every life matters and that every baby matters in the world. These aren't just choices, but these are actually babies. And I believe that as being a pro-life advocate, I believe that we aren't necessarily like going against women's rights, but rather we're fighting for those that aren't able to fight for themselves, the innocent, the vulnerable, and those that are marginalized.
We believe that life is important and we should protect unborn babies who can't protect themselves.
You gotta speak up for the voiceless and give them a chance. And fighting here on Parliament, or at the Parliament buildings, we have a chance to, even just by being here, we can show that we are against the fact that Canada has no abortion law.
All life needs to be protected from the cradle to the grave. Every person is precious, and we need to have some laws in this country to protect the helpless.
Do you think people realize that there are no abortion laws on the book whatsoever here in Canada?
Well, I don't think a lot of people realize that, actually. I mean, even my own family, I don't think they realize that.
Why do I march? For life. I was given the gift. I want to give it to everybody else. It's only a gift to give from God.
Because we love life. We just love life, and we know we love God, and we know that God loves life, so we have to love life, and we have to defend life from the moment of conception till natural death.
We've been attending the March for Life for many years now. As a family of 7, we believe that life starts from conception.
I saw at least 2 NDP MLAs down there with the Antifa weirdos on the other side of the barricade. You know, the pro-life movement was treated as extremists by the NDP government. Are you an extremist?
No, I'm not an extremist. I'm a very peaceful marcher. I'm marching for what I believe in.
NDP have painted the pro-life movement as a bunch of wild-eyed extremists who hate women, but these folks seem pretty diverse. They seem pretty female for the most part. Yeah, so what do you have to say about that?
I don't think they've ever come and marched with us. I think if they came down and took a march with us, with, you know, women, men, I don't see any wild-eyed people. I see peaceful, prayerful, loving.
Now, you have a 40 Days of Life shirt on, and that's 40 days of prayer that the church dedicates to the pro-life movement. Now, last year when Rachel Notley drafted the bubble zone legislation, she cited the 40 Days of Life demonstrations of peaceful prayer outside of abortion clinics as a reason why that needed to be. Do you think that anything that the pro-life movement has done in this province constituted such a crackdown on your free speech?
Absolutely not.
It was lies fabricated by the opposition there that didn't want to see us there. We are there, peaceful, and as a matter of fact, the aggression was always from the counter opposite side of view of people.
You know, this side of the debate is pretty young and pretty diverse, ethnically diverse. But you don't see that in the mainstream media, do you?
No, you don't see a lot anymore. The narrative's pretty narrow nowadays. So it's great to see that people are, getting informed. That this is the biggest crowd that I've seen in many years. So it's the message is getting out there, regardless of whatever narrative the mainstream media or anyone else is trying to push onto people.
I think honestly it's a really beautiful thing that a lot of young people are out here, just so that we're more exposed as to why we believe what we believe. Because there's so much to just say like, oh yeah, we're pro-life. But if we really do our research and if we really educate ourselves, we can really see the beauty in all human life, whether you're small or whether all human life in general. So yeah.
Well, I'm here on the steps a little bit further away from the March of Life that is just wrapping up behind me. A couple thousand people converged on the Edmonton legislature to show their support for the rights of the unborn. Now, I had to run up the steps here a little bit because one of the 20 or so Antifa weirdos who showed up to protest the diverse crowd of women, children, families, priests, nuns, religious groups, the faithful, secular, pro-lifers. One of them was following me around, so I ran up the hill to make sure that I could package up my video without his help. As far as the NDP presence here goes, at least 2 NDP MLAs, Janice Irwin and former Health Minister Sarah Hoffman, showed up to stand on the side of the Antifa weirdos. And when I say weirdos, I am not even a little bit exaggerating. They were holding up pentagrams, just so you know. Anyway, that's the deal here from the March for Life. I'm here to tell you the other side of the story. Surely the mainstream media will downplay just the sheer volume and peacefulness of the crowd here today. And as long as they do that, I will always have a job here at The Rebel. For TheRebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. March for Life here in Edmonton is just wrapping up. To see more of our coverage of these issues that the mainstream media just refuses to touch, treat yourself to a Rebel subscription today.